When the Spurs made their selection, most fans immediately started talking about the biggest names in the draft. The lottery picks grabbed the headlines. The star prospects dominated social media. But hidden among all the excitement was a player who might quietly become one of the smartest selections San Antonio made. His name is Maliq Brown. Now, if you don't know much about him yet, you're not alone. He's not the kind of prospect that's going to fill up the stat sheet with 25 points every night. He's not a flashy isolation scorer. He's not going to wow you with endless highlight dunks. But here's the thing. Winning basketball isn't always about flashy. Sometimes it's about making every possession harder for the other team. Sometimes it's about defending every inch of the floor. Sometimes it's about making the extra pass, grabbing the loose ball, rotating at exactly the right time, and doing all the little things that don't always show up in the box score. And that's exactly where Maliq Brown shines. Today, we're breaking down everything Brown brings to the Spurs, why his unique skill set could make him one of the biggest surprises from this draft class, and what he'll need to improve if he wants to become a major piece of San Antonio's future. Let's dive in. The first thing that jumps off the screen. When you watch Maliq Brown play, one thing becomes obvious almost immediately. This guy loves to defend. Some players treat defense like a chore. Brown treats it like a challenge. Every possession looks personal. He's constantly talking, rotating, helping teammates, closing out shooters, protecting the rim, jumping passing lanes, and diving on the floor for loose balls. Those are the habits NBA coaches dream about. Defense isn't something Brown turns on every now and then. It's his identity. That's incredibly rare for a young player entering the NBA. Positionless defense is the future. One of the biggest reasons Brown fits today's NBA is because he isn't locked into one position. Modern basketball is all about versatility. Can you guard multiple players? Can you switch onto guards? Can you defend wings? Can you survive against bigger forwards? Brown checks a lot of those boxes. At roughly 6'8" with a long wingspan and excellent mobility, he has the physical tools to defend several positions. That's huge. NBA offenses are constantly trying to create mismatches. The more players you have who can switch without breaking the defense, the harder you become to score against. Brown already has that mindset. His footwork is outstanding. His anticipation is excellent. He rarely looks out of position. Instead of relying purely on athleticism, he wins with instincts, and instincts are incredibly difficult to teach. His basketball IQ may be his biggest strength. Here's something that doesn't always show up on highlight reels: basketball IQ. Brown processes the game incredibly fast. He recognizes actions before they happen. He rotates early. He knows when to help. He understands spacing. He reads passing lanes. He rarely forces bad decisions. That kind of awareness allows him to impact games without needing the basketball. Some players need the offense built around them. Brown doesn't. He's perfectly comfortable making winning plays without taking 15 shots. That's exactly the type of role player every contender needs.
Don't underrate his passing. One of the most underrated parts of Brown's game is his passing ability. This isn't someone who catches the ball and immediately looks to score. He's always scanning the floor. If a teammate is open, he's making the pass. If a cutter appears, he finds him. If the defense collapses, the ball moves immediately. That willingness to keep the offense flowing makes everyone around him better. It's selfless basketball, and selfless basketball wins games. Now let's talk about one of Brown's most exciting traits: creating chaos. Not reckless chaos, controlled chaos. He's constantly forcing turnovers. His hands are incredibly active. He pokes balls loose. He intercepts passes. He rotates from the weak side for blocks. He disrupts offensive rhythm. Those extra possessions completely change basketball games. Every steal leads to transition opportunities. Every block energizes teammates. Every deflection throws an offense off schedule. Brown does all three, and he does them consistently. Have you ever watched a player whose energy completely changes the game? That's Maliq Brown. The moment he checks into the lineup, the pace increases, the effort increases, the communication increases. That's difficult to measure statistically, but every team needs players who raise the intensity of everyone around them. Brown plays every possession like it's the final minute of Game 7. That's contagious, and fans love players who compete like that. Here's why this draft pick makes so much sense. The Spurs don't need Brown to become their primary scorer. That's not his game. Instead, they need someone who can defend, move the basketball, cover multiple positions, create extra possessions, bring toughness, play with relentless effort. Those strengths perfectly match what Brown already does well. Sometimes the smartest draft picks aren't about upside alone. They're about finding players who naturally fit into winning basketball. Brown absolutely fits that description. Now for the big question, can he stay on the floor offensively? That's where his development begins. Right now, Brown's biggest weakness is perimeter shooting. NBA defenses don't fear him from three-point range. That allows defenders to sag off him. When defenses don't have to respect your jumper, spacing becomes more difficult. This is easily the biggest question surrounding his offensive game. Can he become a consistent corner three-point shooter? He doesn't have to become Stephen Curry. He simply has to make defenses pay for leaving him open. If that happens, his value skyrockets. Another area Brown needs to improve is shot creation. At the college level, much of his offense came within the flow of the game. Cuts, transition, putbacks, open finishes. That's perfectly fine, but the NBA is different. Defenses close faster, windows disappear quicker. Developing a reliable mid-range jumper, stronger finishing package, and better face-up game would make him a much more complete offensive player.
Adding strength. Brown is already a strong competitor, but the NBA is filled with powerful forwards. Adding another 10 to 15 pounds of functional muscle could help him tremendously. It would improve his ability to battle for rebounds, finish through contact, hold position defensively, and guard stronger interior players. Thankfully, NBA strength programs are built for exactly that. Rebounding consistency. Brown is capable of being an excellent rebounder, but consistency will be key. Sometimes he relies on athleticism instead of boxing out. That works in college. It becomes much harder at the professional level. Learning to seal opponents earlier and attack every rebound with the same intensity he brings defensively could elevate another part of his game. Free throw shooting. Here's another area that often gets overlooked. Free throws. Improving at the line isn't just about scoring. It's about confidence. It's about staying on the floor late in games. A reliable free throw shooter becomes much easier to trust during close finishes. This should absolutely become a major point of emphasis early in his NBA development. How high is his ceiling? So what kind of player could Maliq Brown become? Honestly, I remind me of the type of player fans appreciate more every single season. The player whose impact isn't fully appreciated until he's missing. The player who guards the opposing team's best scorer. The player diving across the floor for loose balls. The player making the extra pass. The player who sacrifices statistics for victories. Every championship contender has someone like that. Brown has the potential to become exactly that type of player. If his jumper becomes reliable, watch out. His versatility becomes incredibly valuable. The mindset that stands out. One thing I love about Brown's game is that he understands winning. He doesn't chase numbers, he chases possessions. He chases stops. He chases rebounds. He chases hustle plays. That's refreshing, because not every young player arrives in the NBA willing to embrace a complementary role. Brown already has, and that's why I believe he'll earn opportunities much sooner than many people expect. Coaches trust players who consistently make winning decisions. Brown has built his entire game around those decisions.
Every NBA draft has hidden gems. Players who don't receive the biggest headlines on draft night. Players who quietly develop into valuable rotation pieces. Sometimes, those players become even more important than people originally imagined. Could Maliq Brown become one of those players? Absolutely. The foundation is already there. Elite defensive instincts, outstanding versatility, high basketball IQ, excellent passing, relentless effort, non-stop motor. Those traits translate to the NBA. The offensive polish will take time. The shooting needs work. The scoring package needs to expand. The strength will continue to improve. But those are teachable skills. The mentality Brown plays with isn't, and that's exactly why Spurs fans should be excited. Because while everyone else may be focused on the flashiest names from this draft class, Maliq Brown has all the tools to quietly become one of the most valuable players the Spurs selected. Don't be surprised if 3 or 4 years from now, people look back at this draft and ask one simple question: how did so many teams let Maliq Brown fall? If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Spurs coverage throughout the offseason, and let me know down in the comments what part of Maliq Brown's game are you most excited to see develop, and how big of a role do you think he'll earn during his rookie season? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.